do some announcing by the time season 2 starts. That's my prediction. And then in the final match, for the Lucha Underground Championship. For the Lucha Underground Championship. First, we have the challenger, the man of 1,000 deaths, accompanied by Carmen Mil Muertes. That was me doing my best impersonation of the ring announcer female, who is amazing. Everybody on that show is just a 10 on 1 to 10 at their jobs. You'll love it. But so that is your challenger. And the champion, not being represented, not being accompanied by his manager, Conan, who you'd remember from WCW fame if you watched wrestling back then, Prince Puma. And this guy, oh my gosh. Okay, so Mil Muertes, he's your bad guy. Oh yeah, okay. So Vampiro, he's your good. Back to the last match. Wrap that up quick. Vampiro would be the babyface in this situation, although he probably did most of his career as a heel. And then Pentagon Jr. is as heel as you can get. All right, so in the championship, you've got your babyface champion of 8 months, Prince Puma. This guy's like, if you know what parkour is, take a parkour expert and then turn him into a wrestling expert, a pro wrestling expert, sports entertainment expert. That's Prince Puma. This guy, what he does physically, athletically, is just, oh man, it's a thing to watch. And then you've got him defending his title against Mil Muertes, who, like I said, is Undertaker's character with Brock Lesnar's body and athleticism and wrestling ability. And a manager with an evil pouch with a super, powerful stone in it, that the higher she holds it up, the more power it gives to the people she's managing, So it's going to be amazing. I mean, that'll probably be a 30-minute, maybe even 45-minute match for your main event. Could go either way, with Conan, Puma's manager, being taken out last week or 2 weeks ago and not being there to be ringside to help negate the shenanigans on the evil team. The evil team having the 3 Disciples of Death, who just won the Trios title, and the manager Carmen, who's got the stone in the bag that she holds up high, like I said. So all odds are against Prince Puma now. I personally think my prediction, and again, I haven't cheated. I know the spoilers are out there because it's pre-taped, but my prediction is that Prince Puma actually retains, that they're doing all these things to, stack the odds so far against him and seem like it doesn't look like he's going to win, to have him retain. I don't know that Mil Muertes is a, regular all-the-time champ, either type of guy. He might be more of a legendary Undertaker, type of figure at this point in his career. I'm not sure. But so while all signs point to Mil Muertes is going to win it, I'm going with Prince Puma retains. I might be dead wrong. They might be building the evil empire ministry here, ish thing on the Mil Muertes side. I'm not sure that it's, but it doesn't matter. That's the thing. Like, none of these matches matter who wins or what the results are. All the action that you watch is worth it. It's amazing. So, okay, there's my super mega way too long. I probably lost all my listeners, and I'm going to have bad ratings when I get the phone call this week. Well, screw you guys. This is what I'm most on fire about. Ultima Lucha is Lucha Underground is the best pro wrestling out there that we here in the United States of America have access to watch on TV. And I'm just trying to spread the word, man. So, all right. Last tiny bit of pro wrestling news, and then we'll kind of segue into some semi-related, more real, as I said, air quotation sports. SummerSlam updates. It's looking like the John Cena versus Seth Rollins title for title match will still be on at SummerSlam. I do like that they have both titles on the line, and that, barring a as long as we get some type of pinfall or submission victory, that someone will hold both of those titles simultaneously. I do not know if that means they will be unified or not. That would be super awesome if they did. And so that we would just have the one main title, and then the one minor Intercontinental title to Divas, and then the tag team. And then let's get a Diva tag team title in there. Please. Oh, been preaching on that for forever. Nobody's still listening to me there. We need a Divas tag team title. But anyway, so, despite that it's not going to have the traditional build that most storylines get, especially on that level for that type of event, due to John Cena's broken nose that he suffered at the knee of Seth Rollins last Monday on Raw. Not this Monday on Raw, but last Monday on Raw. So, Cena's going to be out as long as he can be to recover until he has to come back to do the last little bit of promos and builds for this champion versus champion title for title match at SummerSlam. And like I said, so long as we get a pinfall or submission winner, or one guy walks out of there with both belts, I don't care who wins or loses. I don't care how the finish is written in, if it's Seth with interference and cheating or whatnot. Although I do wish that they would allow Seth to look like a little bit stronger of a champion. He really is a phenomenal performer out there in the ring, and they really present him as weak of a champion as they possibly can, and I'm not really cool with that. But yeah, so there's that with SummerSlam. There's also, of course, the Undertaker versus Brock match, which Brock, of course, is doing all the work. Brock and Paul Heyman are doing all the work, promoting from week to week on Raw, and then Heyman would show up on SmackDown probably. I don't think Brock does SmackDown. He did it once when he came back. That's it. Like, I'll be on there once. That's it. And then the other little bit of SummerSlam news that we got that it's looking like, and then we'll officially put out Balls on Fire. I know it's been a long one this week, but I'm super on fire about Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha tonight. So thanks for letting me ramble about it. But anyway, back into the WWE at SummerSlam coming up here in just a couple weeks. Stardust, who is Cody Rhodes' character, an evil, a take on his brother's Goldust character, but a more evil version of it, and he's obsessed with space and the cosmos and things like that, and constantly talks in riddles. He's very much like the Riddler from Batman. Not entirely, but, some similar traits. He has been calling out Stephen Amell, who is an actor. He is the actor who plays the character Green Arrow, the superhero TV character Green Arrow, on the TV show Arrow, which airs on the CW network, which has aired quite a few somewhat to very popular and successful superhero-related live-action shows over the last several years. Arrow being one of them that is currently running now. So it looks like we will have a real-life fake superhero versus a real-life fake villain at SummerSlam. Which should be, if they do it, I hope it's well written and entertaining, and I hope that both performers can pull it off. And I also hope that if they're doing a good job, I hope that the crowd responds accordingly, and I hope that the crowd isn't already pre-checked out and doesn't give it a chance if, in fact, they do a good job. But that remains to be seen in large part on Stephen Amell and what he can do moves wise, entertainment wise, inside the structure and format of a WWE wrestling ring. But interesting. So if you're a fan of the show Arrow, that's definitely something to spark your interest and maybe get you to check out SummerSlam. If you want to rent the SummerSlam pay-per-view by itself via your satellite provider or cable provider, it is $54.99, and that's probably for standard definition, not for high definition. Or you could just subscribe to the WWE Network like every other smart WWE/pro wrestling fan in America or any other part of the world for just $9.99 every month, and you get every pay-per-view that they do live included in that $9.99 a month monthly fee, as well as access to an amazingly huge library and archive of past pay-per-views and shows and content that is unique to the WWE. So, alright, there we go. Balls on Fire officially put out. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Scotty Ball. You're listening to Balls Deep Sports Talk here on WNLMradio.com or Spreaker app, TuneIn app, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Alright, now, as I promised, to some quote-unquote real sports. Again, I can't thank you enough for letting me talk that long about pro wrestling, in air quotations as well. Sports entertainment is, I believe, a more accurate term. Alright, so we will segue from pro wrestling into real fight, the realest of fighting that it gets. UFC 190 this past Saturday. Now, the main complaint that a lot of people had, other than that, the main event involving Ronda Rousey versus Beth Correia didn't last very long, was how long it took to get the match started. The pay-per-view overall ran long and late. I, however, was very thankful and grateful about that, because it allowed me the opportunity to get back to my home region by an allowable time on the clock, as I was out of town when the fights started airing earlier that night. And I was able to get back and watch a little bit of the fight before Ronda versus Beth, and then I was able to watch all of Ronda versus Beth, and I did that at my local Buffalo Wild Wings. So again, trying to give some props out to Buffalo Wild Wings. A great place to go watch UFC fights if you're a fan of that sort of thing. Now, in the event that you weren't in, either Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, watching the fight in person, or as I was watching it at my local neighborhood Buffalo Wild Wings, I'll try to make that the last promo for Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, it's not like they're paying me for it. But anyway, we'll give you a recap of what happened. So in the main event was Ronda Rousey, rowdy Ronda Rousey, I should say, defending her bantamweight title and her undefeated streak versus challenger Beth Correia, who was also undefeated going into this fight. Rowdy Ronda Rousey made a point to dedicate this fight both before the fight on Friday and after the fight ended Saturday night, to dedicate her performance to the late great Rowdy Roddy Piper. So that was wonderful and appropriate, and just gives you a little more of a glimpse into her character, who she is as a person, not just who she is as a fighter. But so in her main event fight, which started extremely late, as I said, I want to say this fight was supposed to start somewhere around 9 or 10 o'clock, I believe 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. I believe it didn't start until right around midnight Central Standard Time on Saturday. So all the fights leading up to this went very slow, and that was the complaint from a lot of people on this UFC 190, but are probably the only complaint, other